Now, the part you've been waiting for, the better man speech. Sorry, the best man speech. Now, a lot of you have probably noticed there's something a little bit different about this wedding, and that is that Steve has two best men, myself and my assistant, Andy. So as if there wasn't enough pressure on doing the speech, now I've got competition. But as Steve knows, I'm very competitive, so no problems there. But Steve did say to me one thing, but he thinks I should go first, as Andy's a hard act to follow. Now, I heard Andy practicing last night, and I must say Steve was right. I couldn't follow a word he was saying. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bez. Well, actually, my full name is Bez, would you like a drink? So, for any of you talking to the bar, please use my full name. So when Steve asked me to be the best man, it was actually on Grand National Day, which is why I got the photos. Of course, I said yes and was full of pride and felt really lucky. But as soon as the race started, I quickly realised I wasn't. But I must say to you, Steve, you truly are a lucky man. You will leave here having gained a wife who is... warm, loving, beautiful, kind, intelligent, and as my wife and I recently discovered, a bit of a mover on the old, on the old Nintendo Wii. And Amy, you truly are lucky as well. I mean, you'll leave here having gained, well, a gorgeous dress and a whole lot of Kenyan. As I just mentioned, it is a great honour to be the best man, even though I have to share it. But with the role comes the job of writing the speech. So I didn't really know where to begin. So I thought the best place to start would be the internet. So with a multitude of resources at my fingertips, I began to search the web. Now after a couple of hours, I found some really good stuff, but then realised I was supposed to be looking for best man tips. As part of my research, I discovered, according to tradition, I was supposed to sing the groom's praises and tell you about as many good points. Well, I'm very sorry to say, I can't sing, and I won't lie. It then goes on to say I should tell the love at first sight story of when this couple first met. So I asked Amy, asked her where she met. She had a combat fitness class. I know, not the most romantic of settings, but I still had hope. She continued and in a sarcastic tone said, yes, Steve was there in his lovely Tasmanian devil t-shirt. The one he's had since he was 12 and still doesn't fit him. So I thought, I'd ask Steve instead. Was it love at first sight for you, mates? He said, no, not really. I thought she was a bit hard-faced and cold. But although I didn't get off to the best of starts, the more time we spent together, they quickly realised there was something special between them. And after a few sticky wet kisses on the couch, they became soulmates and have now decided to spend the rest of their lives together. Entertained by my research notes, it then said I should tell a funny, heartwarming or bravery story, but again, didn't have one. Had I been talking about a sister Cat, I'm sure there would have been loads. You see, it's always been hard for Steve, having a much more interesting, braver, all-round more macho sister. You see, when Steve's peeling spuds or washing pots or messing about with cakes, he's battling blazes, saving people from car accidents, basically putting her life on the line. I mean, she's even going out with an action man. Well, I look like anyway. So I thought instead of telling a story to about Steve, I'd offer him some advice. Now, I've only been married for 19 months to my beautiful wife, Jodie, but I thought I'd offer some words of wisdom anyway. Firstly, set ground rules. Establish who's the boss, and then do everything Amy tells you. Secondly, always remember those three important little words. You are right, dear. And third and finally, when you're wrong, admit it. When you're right, keep quiet. Because as I say, a man who gives in when he's wrong is a wise man, but a man who gives in when he's right is a married man. But on a more serious note, it's hard to imagine life without a Ross, without a Rachel, a Noel without a Liam, or a Romeo without a Juliet, and now of course a Steve without an Amy. Because for me, marriage isn't about someone you can live with, it's about someone who you cannot live without. So I'd just like to say to Steve, you've been a good friend over the years. It's been a real privilege and honour to be your best man. And I'd like to wish you all the happiness in the world in your new married life. So now before we hand you over to my number two, I'd like to show you a little poem that I've written. So I've been asked to be best man, which filled me full of pride. So I've written this little poem for the groom and beautiful bride. As I told you in my speech, it was not love at first sight, but the way they look at each other, I know their future's bright. So as life hands you challenges, as it does to one and all, your love will hold you steady and never let you fall. Now Steve didn't have the looks of a movie star or the money of a mobster, but Amy, I hope you know that in Steve you found your lobster. So now you've taken life together, what will be, but I know that you'll be happy as Mr. and Mrs. G. So ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses and toast to your husband and wife, and may you find all the love and happiness in your new married life. To Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Garner.
Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Garner.